Guys, welcome back to Stop 3 on our Euro trip where we head to Grindelwald, Switzerland. If you've been following along on this series, we started this friendship honeymoon in Puglia, Italy, then went to Prague, and now we're headed to Grindelwald, Switzerland. At this point, our group of 12 has split into factions, with 4 of us headed over to Switzerland, and then we'll all meet up back in Paris for stop number 4. So 4 of us took a quick Swissair flight from Prague to Zurich, Switzerland. And from there, we took a train from Zurich to Interlaken, and then we'll catch our final train from Interlaken to the mountain town of Grindelwald. The first highlight of this trip so far are the Swiss train systems. Like, this station is insane, and the trains are very on time. The food options in these train stations are rivaled by only that of Japan. I mean, look at these train station hot dogs. They literally hollow out a baguette, throw some sauce in there, and then stuff a dog all the way down to the bottom. Wow. And if you don't got that dog in you, there's plenty of other options. I mean, just look at these pretzels. The train system was super easy to navigate. You can just buy tickets at the station. We didn't have to reserve tickets or seats or buy anything in advance. We literally just bought tickets, hopped on, and got amazing seats with views of the countryside the entire time. In total, we had to take 3 trains to get from the airport to Grindelwald, and it was maybe about 3 or 4 hours, but time flew by and was super easy. Interlaken was super pretty, and I wish we got some time to actually stay in the city. If we had more time on another trip, I would definitely carve out some time to just spend down here. If you ever see beautiful videos of cows roaming meadows and little jingling bells and streams in the middle of beautiful pastures, that is Grindelwald, Switzerland, and that's the reason why we decided to come here. Grindelwald's kind of the first village in the Jungfrau region, which are all these mountain villages in the Swiss Alps. On this trip, we only stayed in Grindelwald, but I would definitely recommend checking out some of the other mountain towns like Lauterbrunnen and Wengen. Once we made it to Grindelwald, we were picked up by a shuttle from our hotel and brought to the most beautiful mountain chalet in the middle of the valley. Look at this insane view from our balcony. Wow. It was cloudy and rainy the entire time we were traveling to Grindelwald, and we thought we were just going to get rain and clouds that first day. But suddenly, at sunset, the clouds parted and golden rays of sunshine fell down upon us and the mountains, and I thought I was in Valhalla. I mean, just look at this. So after taking about 1 billion pictures of the sunset with some cheese and coffee, we decided to take a little stroll to the downtown for drinks and dinner. There aren't a lot of roads, but there are these majestic little pathways carved out on the hillside for everyone to just walk around the village. It is magical. Our first stop was for a couple pre-dinner beers at Espresso Bar in Grindelwald on the main street. The beers were good, but the price is high, which is all of Switzerland, so just keep that in mind. For dinner, we headed over to the Derby Hotel, which we were told has some of the best fondue in the village, so that was a must. The hotel was pretty old school and really cool white tablecloth dining with great food. Guys, the fondue was nuts delicious, and the entrees were amazing too. We had whole chicken, mushroom soup, amazing pasta, and more. The next day was our only full day in Grindelwald, so we decided to make the most of it by getting up early and spending the entire day up in the mountains at the Grindelwald First Ski Resort. This weekend was actually the last weekend open for the summer season, so there still wasn't a lot of snow, but you can still go up in the mountains and do a ton of fun stuff at the resort. From our mountain chalet, we just walked down to the center of the village where you can buy tickets to Grindelwald First cable car and ride that all the way up into the mountains. The cable car pass is good for the day, so you can ride all the cable cars up here, and then you can also add on additional activities, which you'll see later in this video. There are different cable cars that run to other parts of the mountains. Those are different cable cars and different cable car passes, so if you want to do them all, you'll have to buy multiple. The views of the mountains and Grindelwald are insane from the cable cars, so I could only imagine how pretty everything is when it's covered in snow in the middle of winter. The first thing we did when we got to the top was the Grindelwald First Cliff Walk, which is this pretty short hike around the top of the resort, but they built these walkways on the side of the cliffs where it's just insane. This is an absolute must-do. I highly recommend it. If you are afraid of heights, I still highly recommend it. It's too amazing to pass up. The cliff walk is also free, so once you're up here, you can do it as much as you want. You don't have to pay extra to go on this hike, like you do with some of the other activities. Also, the entire time we were up there, we kept seeing these fighter jets fly over the mountains, which was very cool. The mountains here are absolutely insane, and you can see some of the highest peaks like Eiger, Jungfrau, and Schreckhorn. After spending a good amount of time on the first cliff walk, we decided to do a little bit of a longer hike along the mountains to Lake Bachalpsee, which is a beautiful alpine lake up in the mountains, maybe about 2 miles from the top of the gondola and resort. If you have some good hiking shoes and a little bit of time to explore the mountains, I definitely recommend taking a little bit of a longer hike up here.
Thanks Toblerone for sponsoring my trip to the Alps. Toblerone, chocolate of the Alps.
Your love is what I need.
at the end of the hike coming back to the resort, we actually saw an avalanche in the mountains, which was scary and fun.
What I need. Your love is what I need.
So after our hike, we headed back to the resort for some much needed mountain activities. This place is literally like the Swiss Alps version of Disneyland, with all these rides and fun things to do, like zip lines, mountain carts, and our first activity was the Eagle Glider. The Eagle Glider is kind of like a zip line, except you are hanging face down with 4 of you guys attached to this giant eagle, and they shoot you up the mountain and then you come back down. You're just hanging from this thing, Superman style, and you're probably like, I don't know, 1,000 feet off the ground. It was amazing.
Your love is what I need. Your love is what I need.
Wow, that was so fun. Definitely do that. The next activity that we chose to do up here were the mountain carts. So we took a short gondola ride down to the mountain carts and got on these insane mountain tricycles with hardly any brakes, and then they just send you down a 5,000 foot mountain. It was the most insane thing I've ever done. I can't believe it's legal. And it was so fun.
Your love is what I need.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That was insane. Wow.
After exhausting our 2-activity mountain pass, we decided to head back down to Grindelwald, grab a couple beers, and get some pizza for dinner. We settled on Pizzeria de Salvi, which is just on the main drag. They had decent pizza, pasta, whatever. Most of the restaurants and food options up here are pretty touristy and resorty, so the food's kind of whatever. It's not going to blow anyone's socks off, but good after being up in the mountain all day. After a final night in our Grindelwald winter mountain chalet, it was time to pack our bags up, head back down the mountain to Interlaken, and then catch our train across the country to Paris, France on our fourth and final stop of our Euro trip. We took a little bit of a scenic route back to Interlaken. I could literally live on these trains. The views are insanely beautiful.
Your love is what I need.
After a short but beautiful bus and train ride from Grindelwald, we made it to Interlaken and decided to hang out, walk around the beautiful Double Lake Village, Switzerland town, and get a little bit of lunch, which consisted of hot dogs from another bus stop stand featuring sauce udders. I love Switzerland.
Your love is what I need.
Well, guys, this wraps up stop number 3 on our whirlwind friendship honeymoon across Europe. Thank you so much for watching and following along in this series as we go from country to country. Make sure to check back for the 4th installment of this series as we head to Paris, France for our final stop on our Euro trip. Thank you. I love you. Please like and subscribe. Peace.